It's the middle of the summer and you're saying in the back of your head, you're counting how many days before the kids will go back to school, and you feel terrible about it. What kind of parent am I? What kind of parent counts for the kids to go back to school? And the answer is every parent, every single parent wants a kid to go back to school. Now, let me explain this to get you to take the guilt and put it on the table so we could discuss it. You love your kid. You're just not sure you like him in July. And it doesn't mean something's wrong with you. Let's just understand what July actually looks like. Let's look at what August looks like. He wakes up at 1:30 in the afternoon. He walks into the kitchen and he says, "Good morning," with total confidence, no shame, like he just beat the sunrise. He opens the fridge, he closes it. 20 minutes later, he opens the fridge again. Why did you just open the fridge? Why did you just check it again? Do you think new food just arrived? New fruit didn't arrive. It's the same fridge, Shlomi. Why did you just open the fridge again? And then you ask the child, try to be nice, you smile, "How was your day?" And he said, "Fine." He says, "Fine. What did you do today?" "Nothing." "What do you want to do?" "Would you want to do something later? Would you want to do something today?" "Later." Later is not a time. Later has never been a time. And for some reason, that's all this kid wants. He just wants everything later. And you're begging your kid, let's just do something. And there's nobody to talk to. All year long, you're waiting for having time with your child. And finally, now that you have time, you have all the time in the world. And what do you feel about this kid? He's just like a roommate who doesn't even pay rent. Now, let me talk to you about something that nobody really talks about. And that is that all year long, something was quietly helping you with your parenting. And that's called schedule. All year long, you had to wake up for your child, a davening for your child, a seder. He had class, he had homework, he had curfew, repeat. And this is how it was. Then comes July and August, and the schedule just walks out. And what's left is just you and the child. So when that happens, the parents, they start to panic and they start to say to themselves, "My kid is falling apart this summer." And the truth is he didn't fall apart. What actually happened is all the scaffolding came down. Now what you're seeing is the actual building. You're seeing your child, and it's not a disaster. This is information of who your child is under when there's no schedule. Summer is not a time when your kid gets worse. Summer is a time when you find out actually who your child is. Now, I want you to hold that thought because I want you to realize that summer isn't nothing. Summer is a time that the government tracks when teenagers first try alcohol. When the teenager is the first time they start alcohol, and a regular day in the year, they could get 5,000 to 8,000 kids that on that day that could be trying alcohol the first time. But on an average day in June, July, August, there's over 11,000 people trying for the first time alcohol. Same kids, same country, different month. It's not the summer, it's the empty hours. So what do parents try to do? They try to run and build a stricter schedule with the child, but you can't out-schedule a 14-year-old. You can't out-schedule a 15, 16-year-old. He has more free time than you, and he has more access to technology than you. So you just try to fill up, how do we make more schedules? That's not the solution. What this child needs is not a program. This child needs a person. He needs a parent to be present with him in this time when he has no schedule. So I'm going to give you 3 ideas, 3 things that you could do to be able to improve the situation. Number 1 is make sure you have one meal with this child, quality over quantity. Not every meal, one meal alone with your child. You're not fixing a teenager over breakfast at 9 o'clock in the morning. At that time, not in the morning, he's still unconscious. Pick the meal that this child is actually alive for. It could be his meals at 10 o'clock at night, but be there for him at that 10 o'clock at night. And number 2 is don't try to have a eye-to-eye contact, a open conversation. The kids, teens don't do well with that. They don't do well sitting across the table. They do better when they're sitting facing the same direction, driving, walking, grilling together, having a slice of pizza together. Your best conversation in the summer is going to happen in a car when you're both facing forward. And number 3, find one thing about your child that you actually enjoy. Not admire, not approve of, but you enjoy about your child. It could be his music, it could be his jokes, it could be his weird hobbies, it could be the way he argues with you. Because kids know the difference between being loved and being liked. And every kid knows his parent loves him. And that's the contract. Of course my parent's gonna love me. But does a kid feel that his parent enjoys him? And a child who feels that his parent enjoys him, that's a kid who's gonna come home at night. You know, it's very interesting, this timing of the year, this timing of this video is not an accident. We know we're just coming out of Tisha B'Av. We're moving into the day of Tu B'Av. And of course, Tu Tu B'Av is so interesting. It's coming out of a day of Tisha B'Av where it's a sad day, and into Tu B'Av, which is such a happy day. And what is the reason why the Beis Mikdash fell? Was because there was senseless hate, and now on Tisha B'Av we're supposed to come and turn it around to proper senseless love. And we have this concept of senseless love on Tu B'Av. We know that on the days of Tu B'Av, the girls would go out, they would dance in the fields and the vineyards, and the girls would they would wear these dresses. They would borrow dresses, the Talmud tells us. And even somebody who has money, he would borrow from somebody who doesn't have money. The Mishnah asks, why is it that they have to wear dresses that they borrowed? And it explains, because we don't want to embarrass somebody who doesn't have. For one day, the poorest girl looked exactly like the richest one. And nobody could be measured by the externals, by the money, and that's not who you are according to what you have. And that's the house I want you running in the summer, where nobody gets measured, where you're gonna love your child with no reason, not because of his report card, not because of his success. You're gonna love the child just who he is, without any reason. And when your child walks in at 1:30 in the afternoon out of his bed and looks in the fridge to see if there's something there, that's when you're supposed to smile to him, even then. Keep counting the days for school to come back, but just don't miss out on the child while you're counting. I'm writing a guide on how to survive the summer with your teenager. If you would be interested in it, text me and I'll get you that guide right away.